To the outside world, John Wayne Gacy was a model citizen. A successful businessman, a friendly neighbor who threw the best summer parties, a local political figure, and even a beloved children's entertainer known as Pogo the Clown. He was charismatic, well-liked, and deeply involved in his community. But behind this mask of respectability lurked a monstrous secret, a double life so horrific, it would forever change the way we look at the people living next door. This is the chilling story of how one man managed to deceive an entire community while committing some of the most heinous crimes in American history. Born in Chicago in 1942, Gacy's early life was marked by a difficult relationship with his father, who was both abusive and dismissive. Seeking approval he never received at home, Gacy became a master of presenting a likable and successful image to the world. He was a hard worker, eventually starting his own successful contracting business, PDM Contractors. He married, had children, and became an active member of the Jaycees, a civic organization where he was known for his dedication and fundraising skills. He even posed for a photo with First Lady Rosalynn Carter in 1978, a testament to his perceived standing in the community. This public persona was Gacy's greatest weapon. People trusted him. He was the guy who would give you the shirt off his back, the friendly neighbor who hosted elaborate block parties in his suburban Chicago home. He was also Pogo the Clown, a character he created to enter children's hospitals and local events. With his goofy makeup and oversized shoes, he brought smiles to countless faces. No one could have imagined the darkness that was hidden behind the clown paint and the friendly smile. His charm was disarming, a carefully constructed facade that allowed him to move through society without suspicion. But while Gacy was building a reputation as a pillar of his community, young men and teenage boys in the Chicago area began to disappear. The first known victim vanished in 1972, and over the next 6 years, the number of missing boys steadily grew. These were often runaways or boys looking for work, individuals who were less likely to be immediately missed. Gacy used his contracting business as a lure, offering them jobs. He would pick them up, promise them work or a ride, and use his charisma to gain their trust. He was a predator hiding in plain sight, preying on the vulnerable. The disappearances were largely unconnected at first, separate tragedies plaguing different families. The police struggled to find leads. How could so many young men simply vanish without a trace? The community was on edge, but the idea that a single person could be responsible seemed unthinkable. And certainly, no one suspected John Gacy, the friendly contractor and party host. His public image was his shield, deflecting any potential suspicion. He continued his life as normal, attending meetings, entertaining children, and mingling with neighbors, all while his list of victims grew. The turning point came in December 1978 with the disappearance of 15-year-old Robert Piest. Piest was last seen talking to Gacy about a potential construction job. Unlike many of Gacy's previous victims, Piest was from a stable family who immediately raised the alarm. He had told his parents exactly where he was going and who he was meeting. When he didn't return home, the police had their first solid lead connecting a disappearance directly to John Wayne Gacy. Investigators began to scrutinize Gacy. They placed him under surveillance and obtained a warrant to search his home on Somerdale Avenue. The initial search revealed several suspicious items belonging to other missing young men, but the true horror was yet to be discovered. As investigators questioned Gacy, his story began to crumble. He was a confident manipulator, but under the pressure of a focused police investigation, the cracks in his facade started to show. The search of Gacy's house soon led investigators to a place that would become infamous in the annals of true crime: the crawlspace. Detectives noticed a strange, foul odor emanating from beneath the house. It was a smell Gacy had tried to explain away, blaming it on moisture and dead rats. But the reality was far more gruesome. After obtaining a second, more thorough warrant, police began to excavate the crawlspace. What they found was a mass grave. One by one, they uncovered the remains of Gacy's victims. The small, dark space beneath his home had become a tomb. The community was in shock. This was the house where they had attended parties, where their children had played. The man they knew as a friend and neighbor was a monster. As the excavation continued, the sheer scale of Gacy's crimes became terrifyingly clear. 29 bodies were eventually recovered from the crawlspace and other locations on his property. 4 more victims were found in the Des Plaines River where Gacy had discarded them. Gacy confessed to the murders, his chillingly calm and detached demeanor shocking even the most hardened detectives. He described his methods in cold, procedural detail, showing little remorse for the lives he had taken. He explained how he used his charm, along with tricks and restraints, to lure his victims into a vulnerable position. The man who had worn a clown's smile to entertain children revealed a personality devoid of empathy, a predator who saw other human beings as objects for his own gratification. His confession painted a portrait of a meticulous killer who operated for years without detection. The trial of John Wayne Gacy was a media sensation. The world was captivated and horrified by the story of the killer clown. The prosecution laid out the overwhelming evidence: the bodies in the crawl space, the items belonging to victims found in his home, and Gacy's own detailed confessions. The defense attempted an insanity plea, arguing that Gacy had a split personality and wasn't in control of his actions. They tried to separate the kind community man from the brutal killer. But the jury didn't buy it. They saw through the facade, just as the police finally had. In March 1980, John Wayne Gacy was found guilty of 33 counts of murder, the highest number for any single individual in U.S. history at the time. He was sentenced to death for 12 of those murders. He spent the next 14 years on death row, where he ironically became known for his paintings, many of which depicted clowns, including his alter ego, Pogo. It was a final, chilling act of defiance, a reminder of the mask he wore to hide the monster within. On May 10, 1994, John Wayne Gacy was executed by lethal injection, his reign of terror finally over. The legacy of John Wayne Gacy is a dark and complex one. He shattered the illusion of safety in suburbia and forced society to confront a terrifying truth. Evil doesn't always look like a monster. Sometimes it looks like a friend, a neighbor, or a clown. His case led to changes in police procedures for handling missing persons cases and raised awareness about the dangers of charismatic predators. For the families of his 33 victims, the pain is everlasting. Their lives were forever altered by a man who lived a lie. A man who used a smile and a friendly wave to hide the heart of a killer. The story of John Wayne Gacy serves as a grim warning that the most terrifying monsters are often the ones we fail to see. Thank you for watching. If you found this story compelling, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more deep dives into history's most fascinating and chilling cases. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.